All right, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're in. Welcome into Jammin' Sports. On a little bit early today, we have games coming up at 1 o'clock Eastern time, but I wanted to come on early so we could go over our extra point. It's our weekly blog. We haven't had one in a while. Decided with all that's going on here at Jammin' Sports right now that it would be good to do an extra point blog to get everybody up to speed. Mostly for those who watch our videos on YouTube. We do our games live on Twitch, and then when the games are over, we upload them to YouTube. And I noticed that a lot of people on YouTube are watching these videos, so I decided we need to do an extra point so we can kind of explain everything here at Jammin' Sports, give you some more insight as to what's going on. First of all, before we get into all that, let me just give you a recap of last night. In baseball, the Seattle Mariners defeated the Kansas City Royals to tie that series up at 1 game apiece. Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, we'll have Game 3 of the American League Wild Card between the Royals and the Mariners to decide that series. Also last night, we kicked off Sim Season number 32, our new NFL Sim Season. The defending Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints got upset by the Arizona Cardinals last night by a score of 24-7. That game is in the video section. That game is also on YouTube. If you don't know about our YouTube channel, it's called Jammin' Sports with the JS logo. Just check it out, and all the videos are posted there as well. Today's schedule will have a triple header of football for you coming up at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock Eastern time as we continue on with week number 1 of our current sim season. It'll be the New York Giants at the New England Patriots, followed by the Philadelphia Eagles at the Buffalo Bills, and then we'll have the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Redskins. And then that's this afternoon, and then tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, it'll be Game 3 of the American League Wild Card between the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners. That's coming up tonight. Sim Season 32 will be using Madden 20. For the past 6 Sim seasons, I've been using Madden 19, and we decided, well, even though 19 is great, we have to move on at some point, so we're going to do so. Now, Madden 24 will come out on August 17th if you pre-order. It'll be on August 18th if you want to get it at the stores. When Madden 24 comes out, we will take a look at it, and if it's good enough, then we'll just switch over. And in mid-season, we'll probably be in about week 3 or so at the time, and then we'll just continue on there. If Madden 24 ends up being a bust, then no harm, no foul. We just continue on with Madden 20. I wanted to go over our weekly schedule, especially those who watch these videos on YouTube after the fact. You might want to watch these games live. We are on Twitch, and it's Jammin' Sports, just like you see it. And our schedule during the week, normally, Monday through Friday, we're on at 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific. And we usually have at least 2 games, sometimes more, during the week. Now, that schedule may change because my day job, I'm on the radio, and I do a lot of high school sports, and we do have football season coming up. In fact, midway through August, I will not be on Friday nights for a while, but we'll still be on Monday through Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Also, during the weekends, I'm usually on at 1 o'clock Eastern time. That'd be 10 in the morning out west, and we usually play games on Saturday afternoon and into Saturday night. And then on Sundays, we're usually on at somewhere around 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Pacific time. So that's usually our schedule. During the week, we're usually on at 8 o'clock Eastern. On Saturdays, we're usually on by 1 o'clock Eastern. And on Sundays, we're usually on by 6 o'clock Eastern time with games for you. And when you look at the schedule page here at Jammin' Sports, we schedule the football and the baseball. But when it comes to our basketball and hockey, we kind of get those games in as we can go. Let me give you an example of how we do that. Like, say, for instance, today is a Saturday, and I start things off at 1 o'clock. If I'm available, I may throw a basketball game on ahead of time or whatever, just to fill some time. And that's usually how we do the basketball and the hockey, unless it's an important game, and then we go ahead and schedule it. So I just want to make everybody know here on that watches these videos on YouTube what our schedule is, because you might want to join us live, and we would appreciate it if you would join us live here on Twitch when we're on. Got a couple of people in the room now watching the Extra Point. It's our weekly blog. I'm going to get back into this weekly blog, try to do it weekly at noon Eastern time, 9 in the morning out west on Saturdays. Madden 24, like I said, I've been watching the betas, been watching it close. Even though we started Sim Season 32 last night with the Cardinals over the Saints, we are still looking at Madden 24. We're using Madden 20 for this current Sim Season. 24, it will be out August 18th in stores. If you pre-order, it will be out August 17th. If you pre-order the deluxe edition, you're going to get it like around the 14th, 13th, or 14th, a few days early. I pre-ordered the regular edition. There's no need to get the deluxe, so I'll get it on the 17th. And what I will probably do on the 17th is run a game live just to take a look at it so we can give it a test run. Everybody can comment on it. And that's what we'll do there. So that's kind of an overview of Jammin' Sports. Just want to make sure all our YouTube people know what's going on. A lot of stuff going on in the news as of late. The biggest thing in the news in sports was yesterday, actually the day before, the sale of the Washington, well, they're called the Commanders now. I used the word, I'm sorry. Formerly the Washington Redskins. Dan Snyder, no longer the owner. Josh Harris and his group bought the Commanders. And part of that group involves Magic Johnson, formerly of the Lakers, and everything that Magic Johnson touches, they win a championship. He's part owner of the LA Dodgers. When he became owner of the Dodgers, they won the World Series. He's part owner of the LA Sparks WNBA team. As soon as he became a part owner there, they won the championship. He is part owner of a soccer team, and they won the championship. So now he's part owner of the Washington franchise. So watch out, guys. Washington might win a championship. But Snyder, a longtime owner of the Redskins, the NFL basically forced him out. They said, you know what? We don't like you. You've got a lot of problems. This franchise is in disarray. And they kind of forced the issue. And Josh Harris and company came in and they bought the Redskins / Commanders / whatever you want to call them this past Thursday. And that was basically breaking news yesterday. A couple of things about that sale that should be really cool is, one, FedEx Field is dilapidated. It's not the best stadium in the world. And there's a big push in the Washington, D.C. area for them to move the Redskins / Commanders / whatever you want to call them football team back to the D.C. area at the site of RFK Stadium. The RFK Stadium finally has gotten the go-ahead for them to tear it down, since they don't have a tenant at the moment. And a lot of people in that area are happy about that because they want the new stadium to be back in D.C. and not in the suburbs like it used to be. Excuse me. And another thing to come out of the sale, it was stated by the ownership group that they plan on changing the name once again. A lot of people don't like Commanders. I don't like Commanders. I think it's a very generic term. It doesn't appropriately describe the team. I would like to see them go back to being the Redskins. I don't know if that will happen. The reason, it's kind of a convoluted history as to why they're not called the Redskins anymore, but when the world started getting woke, the U.S. Patent Office decided that Redskins was offensive and therefore they weren't going to allow it to have trademark status. Now the Redskins could still use the name, it's just that they wouldn't be protected by any trademark protection. So they decided, and the NFL decided to go ahead and change the name. And here's the thing, again, it's that woke mentality. A lot of the people that they say, a lot of people that were offended by the word Redskins were not Native Americans. They were offended for them, which is worse. That's just political correctness right there. I have a lot of Native American friends. I was in the military, and I knew a lot of them. And every one, the Redskins was their favorite team. They loved the name. You ask any Native American, they like the name Redskins. It needs to go back to that. I hope they go back to that. But my thought is they probably won't, because the U.S. Trademark Office will not allow them trademark status on that name. So, but anything's better than Commanders, right? And some of the names out there right now, Red Tails wouldn't be bad. The name, if it's not the Redskins, the name I would like to see is Warriors. And here's the reason why. If you remember, back in the 60s, the Redskins used to have a helmet reminiscent of Florida State. However, it was a burgundy helmet with a spear, not a gold helmet like Florida State, but still, it looked sharp. And they could bring that helmet back and call the Redskins the Warriors and have that helmet. I think that would be sharp. That's just my 2 cents on the Redskins sale. Other things going on in the news I want to touch on. Maximum Football, everybody's waiting for that new video game, but it keeps getting delayed. I mean, it looks great. When you look at the YouTube and the videos on YouTube on Maximum Football, I mean, the videos look outstanding. But the thing is, when you're starting a video game from scratch like that, development and the production of it is going to take a couple of years. And they've already delayed the release. They were supposed to release it this summer. Now they've pushed it back a year. And to be honest with you, I kind of applaud their efforts. Make sure it's right before you set it out. Don't be in a rush to put the game out there. It ends up being crap. So, so I hope that they get their act together and they can come out with a quality game. But it probably won't be out at the earliest until next year, probably the summer of 2024. The new NCAA college football game that EA Sports is coming out with, this is kind of old news, but it's worth touching on. They have delayed that another year. It won't be out until next year, the summer of 2024. A lot of reasons for that. First of all, just the development. It takes a while to start a game from scratch, even though they're using the Madden engine as a foundation. They always do. They did that in the past. But the biggest thing that's holding this up is the NIL, the name, image, and likeness rules that apply to college football. EA Sports has to pay all the colleges for permission to use their logos and colors in stadiums and all that. So that's a pretty penny. But now, because of the new NIL rules, which stands for name, image, and likeness, they have to pay the players, just like they do in the NFL. Now, the NFL has approximately 1,800 to 2,000 players, depending on how you look at it, when you throw coaches in and stuff like that. So the EA Sports, they pay the players' union and the coaches' union a lump sum, and then the unions dole out the money to the individual players. Okay? So it makes things really easy for EA Sports to pay the NFL for their images and likenesses and stuff like that. College football is a little bit different. College football does not have one central clearinghouse like a players' union. And they need one. College football really needs one, but they won't do it because the conferences are very independent and they want to control their own destinies and stuff like that. So what you have in college football is 4 different clearinghouses, and each has its own rate that they want to charge and everything like that. EA Sports had put out a lump sum that they were willing to pay the players, but it ends up being, because there's so many more players in college football than in the NFL, it's around 20,000, all right, if not more. So when the lump sum gets divvied up by 20,000, each player would get approximately $500, which is nothing to sniff at or nothing to push your nose up at. $500 is $500, but when compared to the NFL players, they get paid about $17,000, believe it or not. Each player individually gets paid about $17,000 to have their name in the Madden game. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was a college player and I knew that I'm not going to go to the pros or anything like that, but I'll be able to play college football, it'd really be cool to have my name and image and likeness in a football game, on a video game. I thought that would be really cool. The $500 would be cool to me. But then you have some of these superstars out there, these agents, the better players, like the Heisman Trophy hopefuls. They're thinking, well, we can get more money than that, and so they're holding out. And so these clearinghouses that control the name, image, and likeness, rules with the NCAA, they're holding out for more money. And EA is kind of at a crossroads. They're not sure what they want to do at this time. What they will probably do if these clearinghouses want too much money is that EA Sports will release the college football game next summer like they used to do in the past. Make everything, make everything where you can change the names yourself. Make it customizable. And just give everybody, each player, just a number. And then you can edit the names in yourself like they used to do. That's probably what EA will end up doing in the future to get the game out there. And that's one way around it. And then they would only have to pay the schools, and then these players would be out of luck because these clearinghouses that supposedly represent them held out for too much money, and they ruined it for everybody. So that's my take on that. That's really all I wanted to cover today, just a few topics that's going on. One more topic I want to touch on. There's a new FIFA game coming out for EA Sports. It's called EAFC 24, I think it's going to be called, when it comes out. It'll be out next month. If you remember, last year, EA Sports lost the exclusivity rights to FIFA, the soccer organization. So they said, fine, we'll just come out with our own soccer game. You'll still have all the teams in it and all that. It just won't be sponsored by FIFA. But it'll pretty much be the same. It'll be pretty much the same. And I've seen videos on YouTube about the FIFA game, and it looks pretty good. It'll be worth a look in September when it comes out. So I really don't see any major thing going on there. The basketball game that 2K is coming out, NBA 2K24, it's on schedule. It'll be out in October. It looks pretty good. I've seen videos on that. And the new hockey game by EA Sports will be out in early October as well. It'll be NHL 24. Funny thing about EA Sports, and I mentioned this before, and it's worth repeating. EA Sports, they only do one game in-house, and that's Madden. That's the only game that EA Sports, Tiburon, down in Orlando, that's the only sports game they do in-house. In fact, it's the only game, period, the EA does in-house. All the shooter games and all the other type of games that EA comes out with, they're not done in-house. Madden is the only one that is done in-house. The NHL game is subcontracted out to a company in Canada that does a great job. I think you saw the past couple of NHL seasons I did here at Jammin' Sports. The hockey game is fantastic. They do a really good job. I wish they would subcontract out Madden and give it to people that really care about it and not the Ultimate Team, which we have beaten to death on this channel long enough. I'm not going to touch on it anymore. But I'm just hoping beyond hope that Madden 24 ends up being a good game, a decent game. So far with the betas, it looks encouraging. Let's just put it that way. But we're not going to know until we get the game in hand on August 17th. But we're not going to wait a whole month to start our next sim season. We're going to go ahead and do it right now. We started last night. In fact, like I said, the Cardinals upset the Saints by a score of 24-7 last night. And today we'll have a triple header coming up at the top of the hour in about 40 minutes from now. It'll be the Giants and the Patriots, which you see on the screen right here, followed by the Bills and the Eagles, followed by the Cowboys and the Redskins. We'll have two games for you tomorrow as well on Sunday. And then tonight, don't forget, after football tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Game 3 of the American League Wild Card between the Royals and the Mariners. That series tied at 1 game apiece. So again, I just want to say hello to all those on YouTube that have been watching my videos here on Jammin' Sports, because once we get done with the games, we upload them to YouTube so people can watch there. Getting a lot of watches on YouTube. I just wanted to make all the YouTubers out there aware of the schedule during the week where you can watch us live here on Twitch. Again, Monday through Friday until at least football season starts. It'll be Monday through Thursday after football season, but right now, Monday through Friday, we're usually on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. On Saturdays, we're usually on by 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And on Sundays, we're usually on by 6 o'clock Eastern Time. So that's our schedule there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. And if you're watching this on Twitch, please subscribe. And tell all your friends and family and other loved ones and any other person you know, whether it be teammates or workmates or whatever, about Jammin' Sports. Let's build the channel. Let's get people in here. Let's have a good time. We enjoy esports. And we'll see you at the top of the hour for the Giants and the Patriots right here at Jammin' Sports.